What's up? Welcome back to my channel. Today I have another glitter cut crease. I'm so sorry, I'm just obsessed, and especially with this eyeshadow combination, it is mwah. I hope you guys like it, and if you're interested in knowing how I achieved it, then please keep on watching. To get started, I'll be using this eyeshadow primer, and this one is Soft Ochre by MAC, and I'm just going to apply this all over the lid, and this will help my eyeshadow last longer, and it's going to prevent it from creasing or cracking. Using the Artist palette from Anastasia Beverly Hills, I'll be using this shade called Buttery, and I'm just going to apply that all over the areas that I apply the base, and this will give a nice smooth surface just because the soft ochre leaves that tacky finish. Now I'll be using the shade called Fresh, and I'm just going to apply that on the crease of my eye, and this is going to be my transition shade. Then I'll be using this brown eyeshadow called Baby I'm a Star, and I'm just going to apply that with a MAC 217 brush all over the crease, and this is going to add more depth. Now I'll be using Kohl, which is a matte black eyeshadow, and with an angled brush I'm just going to start creating that cut crease look, and then I'm just going to make a very sharp line, and then I'm just going to go back in with a smaller brush and a little bit more of the black eyeshadow, and then softly start to blend it out. The trick is to use very little product and then slowly adding it on if you need to. I'm also going to blend in between applications. This is another key when creating a cut crease. Every time you apply eyeshadow, you must blend it. That is the key for any eyeshadow look, for that matter, is blending. Now going back in with Soft Ochre, I'm just going to clean up the whole eyelid, and as you can see, this really sharpens that line in our crease, and that is why I like to do this trick, because it just completes the cut crease look. Going back in with Buttery, I'll just apply that on top of the eyeshadow primer. Now taking this glitter from New Chic Beauty, and this It Cosmetics glitter glue, I'm just going to apply a little bit of the glue in the center of my eyes and then wait until it gets tacky, and then we can go in and apply our glitter. I just want to focus this glitter in the center of the eye just because I want the attention to go to the center. I'm just going to apply a little bit more of the black eyeshadow on the crease just to make sure that it's very sharp and that you can see it very well. And then right after that, I'm going to blend. Of course, we have to blend every single time. Now I'm just going to do a regular wing liner with my NYC liquid eyeliner. And once I finish doing that, I'm just going to apply some mascara, and I'm just going to apply some eyeliner on my upper lash line, and doing this will make your eyelashes look thicker, and it's going to fill in that gap that we have between our lashes and our eyes. For lashes, I'll be using the Double Up 251 by Ardell, and I'll just set them on the center of my eye, and then I place the outer corner and then the inner corner. Taking Buttery, I'm just going to apply this on the highest point of my eyebrow, and this is going to balance out the highlight. Taking the CC Cream from Nature 21 Boulevard, I'm just going to apply that as a foundation primer, and this stuff is really good, and I feel like it leaves a nice luminous finish to my skin, which is awesome. And then now for foundation, I'll be using my L'Oreal Infallible in the shade 104. I love this foundation. I have tried to use different foundations, and I always keep coming back to this one. I just love it, and I don't like changing things that work well for me. For concealer today, I'll be using this one from Rimmel London, and this one's in the shade 125, and I'm just going to apply that on my usual areas, which are underneath the eyes, forehead, chin, smile lines, and jawline, and then I'm just going to blend it out with my damp beauty blender. Taking this highlighting and contour palette from Hot Mess, I'm just going to be mixing these two powders and I'm just going to set the concealer in place. This will allow it to last longer and it's going to prevent any creasing. And I'll just be doing that with a Real Techniques brush. Really simple, nothing crazy, just a thin layer will do. From the same palette, I'll be mixing all of the bronzers and I'm just going to start contouring my face. Well, not really contouring. I'm just adding some warmth to my skin just because the powders make it look really flat. And by adding the bronzers, we'll have a little bit of that definition back. Taking Gold Deposit highlighter from MAC, I'm just going to apply this all over the cheeks, and this is going to be my blush slash baked bronzer just because this highlighter is a little too dark for my skin tone at the moment, so I'm just gonna use it as a bronzer because you guys know that I love my baked bronzers. Now with this Urban Decay setting spray, this one is the gray cap, which means that it's for oily skin like mine. So I'm just going to apply that all over the face just to set my makeup and to get rid of that powdery finish that the powders leave. And then I'm just going to go back in with my highlight, and today I'll be using Light Escapade from MAC. Not their best highlighter, to be honest. It's not as pigmented as I like it to be, but I am using it just because it leaves a subtle glow, I guess. And then now I'm just gonna do a nose contour. This is a must for every single tutorial. And again, I'll be using all the three bronzers and I'm just going to contour my nose with those. Then right after that, I'm just going to take Light Escapade once again and I'm just going to highlight the tear duct of my eye. And then taking the black eyeliner, which is from Marc Jacobs, I'm just going to run that on my bottom waterline. And then for the bottom lash line, I'm just taking any black eyeshadow and I'm just going to smoke it under there just to balance out the blackness and the smokiness that we have going on. And to finish up the eyes, I'm just going to apply some mascara. For lips today, I'll be using this lipstick from Rimmel London, and this one is in the shade 142, I believe. Check the description box because everything will be there. And then on top of that, I'll be using 915 Blushing Nude from Maybelline, and this one is a nice, gorgeous nude, one of my favorites. And finally, I'll be using this Rimmel London gloss. Again, I'm not quite sure of the names or the numbers, so please check the description box and all the information you need to know will be there. So this is it for today, you guys. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you so much for being here. And as always, I'll see you in my next tutorial very soon. Bye! Mwah.